Hello class, a quick video to talk about the distribution assignment, distribution network, spring 2023, what it is. Assume that you work for a company called Bearcat Inc. and they have customers located throughout Texas, 16 of them. One in Amarillo, one in Austin, one in Brownsville, and so on. Our current DC center is closing. We want to identify 2 new locations for DC distribution centers. You will need to calculate the cost for round trip shipments from the DC to each customer location. And again, there are 16 customers locations. So you need to calculate round trip. DC should be within 5 miles of an interstate. This is roughly the interstate map of Texas. Interstate's anything that has a number in a blue shield. 69, I think, extends up to Cleveland now. There may be some other interstates in and around the Dallas, Fort Worth area. But roughly, these are the interstates of Texas. So the DC needs to be within 5 miles of the interstate. Both of them do. Which means, and located in a town with a population greater than 10,000. So I live near Montgomery, Texas. We're more than 5 miles from Interstate 45, and the population there is only about 2,400 people. Montgomery isn't an acceptable location. Conroe or Huntsville are both acceptable locations for DCs. So our assumptions, assign no more than 10 stores or 10 customers to one DC. So, I mean, we could have 10, a DC in Texarkana, one in Huntsville, 10 being serviced by Texarkana, 6 being by Huntsville, or 8 and 8, or 6 and 10. But a DC can serve no more than 10 customers locations. Every truck, assume 200 units per truck. Each truck has a fixed cost of $100. Assume a variable cost of 50 cents per mile. And use Google Map for mileage distance. Choose whatever route has the lowest miles. Don't worry about time. Choose the route that has the lowest miles when you're calculating your costs. So submission should include at least the DC locations, which customers are served by which DC, your total costs, spreadsheet showing how those total costs are calculated, not is calculated. And consider this a competition. The individual or students with DC locations minimizing costs and satisfying all the constraints will receive the best grades. Assume you are presenting your recommendations to your employer, meaning results should be presented in a business professional manner. If you have a spreadsheet, columns should have a header on them so we know what that column represents, that type of thing. Wherever the total cost is, it should say total cost. So use whatever method you want to use for identifying, whether it be solver, whether it be center of gravity, or some other method, dartboard, to identify locations of your DCs. One of the things that we do often when we do vehicle routing for like location analysis is to cluster customers, because you would think Brownsville and South Padre Island would be served by the same distribution center. Houston and Galveston probably would. So the first looking at this map, you may want to break it into West and East Texas. The problem with that is there are only 5 locations in West Texas and 11 in East Texas. Remember, the DCs can only serve a maximum of 10 customers. So if you're going to do that, you may want to break it a different way, maybe a north and south type way to get you started as far as identifying potential location of DCs. I mean, most likely Galveston and El Paso will not be served by the same DC. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. So, what else? I think that's it. Oh, assume 200 units per truck. So Waco, the demand is 800. 800 divided by 4, but divided by 200 is 4. Fort Worth has 700 is their demand. Divide that by 200, you get 3.5. You have to send, you can't send a half a truck. You have to round up to 4. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your calculations. And also, it is round trip calculations, there and back. Okay? Be creative. Just as if your employer was asking you, where do you recommend to locate our new DCs? You've had this. So, good luck. Any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. Thank you.